What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Hero of the Week. This week's Hero of the Week is Eiko Carol. Eiko is a mirthful and precocious young summoner who is the last survivor of her tribe. After losing her family at a tender age, she quietly lives in the village of Madain Sari, until a fateful encounter with Zidane's party inspires her to move on. Only through bonding with Garnet is she finally able to overcome her loneliness. She is also one of the main protagonists in Final Fantasy IX, and she uses flutes and rackets as her main weapon of choice. She also can summon Eidolons in Final Fantasy IX and was basically the white mage in Final Fantasy IX. She had the largest stock of white mage spells, and this makes her the strongest healer in the game. And although I pronounce her name as Eiko, it is actually pronounced Eiko in Japanese, and I hope I pronounced that right. So now that we know a little bit something about Eiko, let's have a look at her weapons and armors. Let's start off at her weapons, and obviously we'll start with the lowest one, which is her air racket. Now, air racket is her 4-star weapon, and this gives her an initial brave of plus 55 if you so choose to max it out. The next one is her priest racket, which gives you the affinity ability of healing charm. This extends the duration of HP regen to 12 turns. It also grants a small attack up and a small max brave up for 12 turns. And finally, her 35 CP weapon, which is magic racket. This gives her the affinity ability Imparted Secret Arts, which increases Smite's potency and lowers its action delay. It also raises all the party members brave based on Eiko's attack. It also grants Eiko a medium speed up for 5 turns. Now let's take a look at her armors. The first one is her 4-star armor called Anklet. This gives her a max brave of 220 if you so choose to max it out. Next is her 5-star armor called Angel Earrings. This gives her the affinity ability Will of Life and Bravery. This gives her an HP plus of 680 and an initial brave of 110. Okay, so now that we know Eiko's weapons and armors, it's time to look at her active and passive abilities. First off, we'll start with her active abilities. And the first one is the HP regen. This grants the party 1 times the caster's initial brave to brave. Also, this grants the HP regen buff that slightly recovers HP for 6 turns. The next one is called Smite. Basically, this is a Holy Brave magic attack which grants the party any stolen brave. And the last 2 active abilities that I want to cover is called HP Attack Plus and the Brave Attack Plus. Now, unfortunately, these are only available in Japan at the moment, seeing that you need the Crystal Strength level 55 and Crystal Strength level 60 to unlock both of these. However, seeing that we want to see what's in store for Eiko in the future, I do want to cover it here quickly. So the HP Attack Plus activates as soon as you use your HP regen ability. This restores all party members' HP based on the HP damage dealt for up to 10% max HP. And this lasts for 12 turns after using HP regen. The Brave Attack Plus activates as soon as you use her Smite ability. Again, this is a one-hit stronger Brave attack, and raises all the party members' Brave based on the attack. This lasts for 5 turns after using Smite, and it requires the level 60 Crystal Strength. Now let's take a look at her passive abilities. Now again, I'll just list out the ones up to 50, and I want to go through the ones over 50 because that is the future for Eiko. So the first one she has is the HP Regen Light, buff speed up, receive heal up, Smite Charge, HP Regen Brave Gain, HP Damage Brave Gain, HP Regen Charge, Smite Power Up, and the Blessing of Madain Sari. Now the next most significant, I suppose, passive ability that Eiko will get is at Crystal Strength 54, which is the buff base and boost up. Basically, this moderately raises the initial Brave and max Brave while she is buffed. The next one is HP Regen Extend, which tremendously raises the Brave gain based on the initial Brave. This grants a small max Brave up and a small attack up for 12 turns. This slightly improves the max Brave up and attack up if the Priest Racket's passive is also active. This triggers an HP attack after using HP Regen. It turns to HP attack to HP attack plus for 12 turns after using HP Regen. HP attack plus restores all party members' HP based on the HP damage dealt for up to 10% of their max HP. The next one at Crystal Strength 58 is the buff attack and boost all. This slightly raises all the party members' max Brave and attack while being buff. And finally at Crystal Strength 60 you get the Smite Extend. This increases the Smite's max uses by 2 and moderately raises its potency. It triggers an HP attack after using Smite as well. It turns Brave Attack to Brave Attack Plus for 5 turns after using Smite. Brave Attack Plus is a one-hit Holy Element Magic Brave attack that raises all the party members' Brave based on its attack. And now it's finally time to take a look at her artifact passives. The first one is the buff attack, which basically raises her attack while she is buff. Next is the Brave Up, which raises her max Brave for 2% or 5% depending on the star that you get for 1 turn after breaking the enemy. Next is the Bravery HP Regen, which raises the Brave that you get basically for using HP Regen. Next and finally, the last one is the Mighty Smite, which raises the Brave damage dealt by Smite. Now let's take a look at the preferred artifact passives that you want to get. The first one is the Mighty Smite, for obvious reasons. This increases the Brave damage of Smite by 10%, which will then be converted into Brave for the rest of the party. The next one actually depends on your Eiko's attack. Some people will prefer the attack plus 108 and some will prefer the buff attack. If you're really into min-maxing, then I would suggest just calculate how much 5% of Eiko's attack that you're going to receive with the buff attack passive, and then, you know, calculate it if it's better than the attack 108. The next one is the Max Brave for the reasons of Eiko being a Brave battery, and sometimes obviously there will be overflow of Brave. The last one is the Brave HP Regen because it's actually the less useful one when it comes to being a Brave battery. So we're finally at the last section of the Hero of the Week this week, and let's take a look at Eiko's playstyle and tips for how to play Eiko. So like I said earlier, Eiko is a Brave battery, so basically she is someone that will give Brave to the entire party. So the way I play Eiko is I usually use her HP Regen first, giving buffs to the entire party and giving them a little bit of boost on their Brave. Obviously, having the 15 CP weapon is the ideal choice, seeing as you get the extra attack up and the max brave up. If you don't have the 15 CP weapon, then using the HP regen isn't really that much of a game changer, so you will probably skip that and use Smite instead. Now, with the introduction of the 35 CP weapon for Eiko in the global version, this made Eiko a little bit broken. So what I mean by this is, it's not that she is bad, it's that she is really good. With the introduction of that 35 CP weapon, she pretty much will fill up the entire party's brave almost to half of their max brave, and that is very significant. So for the most part, it's about 2,000 to 3,000 brave for each smite, and it can be a little bit higher depending obviously if Eiko is a boosted character, and if of course you are using Ifrit, which gives you that extra 20% attack. Now that's pretty much just the way Eiko will play. It's if you have the 15 CP weapon, you would use your HP regen first and then go use Smite and just use HP attack whenever you're capped on your brave. So what kind of tips do I have for you in terms of playing with Eiko or playing as Eiko? Well, obviously you don't really want other brave batteries, because Eiko at the moment, at this point in time in the global servers, can fulfill that role by herself. So you probably want a lot of DPS characters around you, especially with high max brave, such as Squall, Lightning, any other DPS characters or brave damaging characters is ideal to be with Eiko. And like I said earlier, having Ifrit as your summon increases the amount of brave that Eiko will be able to give to the entire party. And that's pretty much it. I mean, HP regen is pretty self-explanatory. You probably will just use it as a small buff. Like I said, that 15 CP weapon is pretty helpful, and especially if you have her buff attack as her artifact passive, it extends that HP regen up to 12 turns and plus one more if you have her crystal strength 50. As for the future of Eiko, once the level 60 crystal strength comes out, I mean, it's only gonna be ever so brighter for Eiko, especially with the HP regen extend, which turns the HP attack into HP attack plus, meaning that you would be able to heal a lot more. And because Eiko's healing isn't really that great at the moment, I mean, HP regen is good and all, but she doesn't have that bulk healing at this point in time. And of course, let's not forget about Smite Extend's extra ability, which turns her Brave Attack into Brave Attack Plus, which makes it so she will become a more effective Brave battery, especially when her Smite sort of runs out. So I think there's a lot of potential for Eiko. I mean, maxing her out right now makes her really a broken character, and there's a lot of things to look forward to in the future as well. And anyway, I think I'll end the video right here, guys. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, I'd like to hear from you guys what you think of Eiko, and who do you want me to feature in next week's Hero of the Week. Also follow me on Facebook and on Twitter. This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.